1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hello everyone, my name is Melina Rodriguez, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a culture that I belong to. And the culture that I wanted to talk to you about today is the culture of being a child of immigrants. And I wanted to address that topic specifically because living in America, we see a lot of people migrating to this country, and therefore we see a lot of children of these migrants. So again, by definition, being a child of immigrant is having parents that come here from a different country. Could be for a variety of reasons, but by experience, it can mean a lot of different things besides just the literal definition of it. So it can mean having to live up to a set of expectations. It could mean depression for some people. It could mean identity crisis. But it could also mean a lot of great things. It can mean perseverance. It can mean learning a lot of different life lessons, and it could mean a lot of gratitude as well. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was those set of expectations that come with belonging to the culture of being a child of immigrants. For example, society sort of expects you to be just as successful as everyone else, assuming that you have the same starting point as everyone that just is born in this country, when in reality that's a lie. I grew up in an immigrant household. Both my parents are from Mexico, and it was very difficult for them to do a lot of the things, have a lot of the access that a lot of American citizens have, therefore making the access to these things very limited to me as well. For example, college financial aid was very difficult for me to get through that process because my parents don't have a Social Security and things like that. So that's an example, of having to live up to expectations. I've had to work probably 3 times as hard as some people just to get to where I am now. The other thing I want to talk about is depression, and the same correlation with identity crisis. Having to be a child of immigrants, you sort of feel like you're not really American, but you're also not really from the country of origin that your parents are from. So for example, myself, I never really considered myself to be American, nor did I really ever consider myself to be Mexican either, because I know the language and I know the culture, but I haven't experienced that specific culture. So I've always found myself feeling like I'm not Mexican enough, but I'm not American enough. And sort of also making myself feel guilty for not identifying as very Mexican and having to sort of navigate through figuring out my ancestry and who I really am based off the country of origin for my parents. But I want to end this a little bit more with the positive things that come with being a child of immigrants. And one of them was perseverance. And I think that mostly comes along with just seeing my parents persevere through such a difficult moment in their life. I think that they're still living through being immigrants here. They've been here my entire life. I was born here, and I'm 28 now, so they've been here for now 28 years, and it's still difficult for them to live in this country as immigrants. And I think we see that more now, especially with the Trump administration bringing in all these different, bringing out the racism in a lot of people. So I think that, having my parents and seeing them live through such a difficult time period, and it's been difficult their whole lives, but seeing all the other immigrants as well live in a society that they didn't grow up in, have to learn the language, have to find jobs that they can do. And I know that we know a lot of immigrants work a lot of the manual labor, so seeing that really is, inspires me. And that's another thing that I think comes with the culture of being a child of immigrant, is getting that inspiration from, all the immigrants that come to this country to provide, their children a better life, and me knowing that my parents sacrificed their entire life to be here, just to give me a better life, makes me want to push forward and work so that I can be successful, but also so that I can work towards bringing all the immigrants in this country the rights that they deserve, and so that hopefully immigrants don't have to leave their country of origin, so that they can live the life that they want to there. And the last thing I wanted to talk about the culture of immigrants is gratitude. And I think that kind of correlates back with inspiration and perseverance. I'm very grateful that I'm a child of immigrants. I think that's taught me a lot about how to just be a great human in general. I think it teaches me to be very grateful for where I am, despite having that identity crisis moment and having that set of expectations. I think that it's taught me a lot about working really hard and how to appreciate even the littlest things. So that's my culture that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I hope that you've learned a little bit more about me and the culture that I belong to. So thank you for listening.
That was almost 5 minutes.